and I'm going to pull one winner, whoever gets that closest to right, and I'm going to give them a month of Poker Coaching Premium for free. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Little for PokerCoaching.com, here to wrap up the High Stakes Feud between Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu, and also to talk about another heads-up challenge that is looming on the horizon. So, first things first. Brad Owen, friend of Poker Coaching, asks, how many points do you have to lose before you stop blaming the refs? And the answer is, apparently, $1.2 million. Let's take a look at the results from the High Stakes Feud. Here is the graph that shows in the green line how much Negreanu lost. As you see right off the bat, the green line goes up pretty nicely. It's up about $180,000, but from there, it goes pretty much straight into the dumpster. The orange line here is his all-in adjusted EV number, which shows how much he should be up if he roughly broke even in the all-in pots. And as we see here, he's, down something like an additional $250K by the end of the challenge. If there was no luck in the all-in pots, he'd be down 943. Instead, he was down 1.2 million. So he ran a little bit poorly, but over 25,000 hands, that's like 5 or 6 buy-ins. That's actually not all that abnormal. So, roughly an even-ish match in terms of luck to some extent. And a lot of people look at this and say, wow, Polk crushed Negreanu. But the betting line for this match had Doug Polk at something like a 5 to 6 to 1 favorite, depending on when you actually bet it. I got a bet in at about 5.5 to 1, something like that. So that kind of implies that in order for that bet to be good, that Daniel Negreanu needed to lose at about 6 big blinds per 100 or less. Let's take a look at his big blind per 100 number. We mainly want to look at the orange line here, which kind of assumes there was no luck in the all-in pots. And it turns out, right off the bat, Negreanu was getting crushed. I actually presume Negreanu would have come into this match a little bit sharper than he did. Right off the bat, it was clear that he was making a pretty decent amount of errors compared to Doug Polk. But as the match progressed, his number got reasonable, right? Like something like 3, 4, 5 big blind per 100 loser, which is fine, right? If I had to run the match again, if I had to make the same bet again, I think I would be pretty happy betting on Negreanu at 5 or 6 to 1. You may say, but look at towards the end, he trails off. But you have to realize the last 3, 4, 5,000 hands or so is kind of like a football game where time is running out. When time is running out, you have to be willing to get the money in a little bit lighter in order to give yourself a chance to win. And when we're talking about like this region right in here, you see that if Negreanu does just start running ungodly hot or winning all the all-ins, he could conceivably swing back up and take the lead. Like right here, we see he was down 600K, swung back up to minus 200, right? Or I guess in terms of all NEV, here we are down here. You see he went from minus roughly $1 million to minus 500K. So 500K swing. Here we are right here. He could easily swing it back up if he started running hot. And we see he actually had this one gigantic session. Biggest session of the match, actually, in terms of a win. He won a ton in like 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 sessions. If he kept running hot like that, very easily could have taken over the match. But he did not. And there was actually a podcast between Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu, the Dat Poker podcast. I like that podcast a lot. Definitely check it out. Where they talked about it. Doug Polk asked Negreanu, were you just like 4-betting and getting it all in with ace queen towards the end of the match? He's like, yeah, time was running out. I had to try to run hot. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This time it did not work out for Negreanu. That said, that betting line's pretty sharp. Turns out, whenever people load in all the money, usually, not always, sometimes in political betting it's way off, but in this match it turns out the betting line was relatively close to accurate, I think, at the end of the day. And it's kind of neat to see. So something that I did not foresee happening throughout this match is it seems like Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu became relatively friendly. It seems like they've talked a decent amount away from the table. They've become reasonable with each other. Negreanu actually mentioned how he, I guess, took some of the stuff that Doug Polk was saying in his content personally to some extent. And I think perhaps Polk did not fully recognize the impact of speaking poorly about people in his content, especially if it's unjustified. Negreanu mentioned a video where he said like cheating allegations for Jason Mercier, whereas in reality that wasn't even what the video was about. And like there were no cheating allegations. And like that kind of thing can definitely be viewed the wrong way. It can rub people the wrong way. And I mean, I get it, all right? People speak poorly about me sometimes, especially in ways that are just completely untrue. And that kind of thing is perhaps out of line, right? That said, I listened to another interview with Doug Polk, and he talks a lot about comedy, right? And comedy is an interesting topic because what is funny to one person may be harmful to another person or grossly offensive to another person, right? And there's a fine line in there. And you got to realize that if you do say some things that perhaps may make people dislike you, even though in reality you think you are just having fun. So it's always a tough thing. Anyway, very, very interesting challenge. Doug Polk ended at the peak, winning about $1.2 million. He scooped up all the side bets, and he won the High Stakes Feud. So, what is next? Bill Perkins, who I don't actually know a ton about. He has a book called Die With Zero, which I liked a lot. Talks about how essentially you want to make sure you are getting the most out of your money and you don't leave a lot of it just unused on the side whenever you are done with life. He decided that he wants to have a challenge as well. And this is an interesting one because he ended up making a challenge with a guy, Landon Tice, who I don't really know much about. Apparently he used to help, or maybe still does help, Joey Ingram with his video blogs and content. I've seen that he's winning a bunch of poker tournaments in Vegas and online, so probably a good poker player. And the challenge they came up with was they are going to play 20,000 hands of 200, 400, no limit hold'em, and Landon is going to pay Bill Perkins 9 big blinds per 100 hands. That comes out to a lot of money. That means over the course of this challenge, Landon is going to pay Bill Perkins $720,000. And this is an interesting challenge because I'm not actually sure how good Landon is, and I'm also not sure how bad Bill Perkins is. Bill Perkins is definitely a recreational player. I've seen him play. He does all sorts of random stuff, and he treats poker like a hobby, right? He's a recreational poker player, and Landon is clearly a professional poker player. I get the vibe that Landon has not studied heads up a ton, and you got to realize this is a very different match than the Negreanu versus Polk match because Polk is like clearly a heads up expert, whereas Negreanu is a good poker player who hasn't really studied the game. So the question is not necessarily how good is Doug Polk, because we all presumed he's going to be great. The question was how bad will Negreanu be, and it turns out he was actually like okay, right? Roughly what the betting line said. Here, I think both players' skill level is relatively unknown, and also the amount of attention Bill Perkins is going to give to this match is also relatively unknown because he has a life, right? He has all sorts of things going on. Whereas Landon is a poker player, he's going to presumably devote his entire life to this thing, right? So I got to presume Landon's going to be pretty good, but is he going to be good like Doug Polk is good? Absolutely not. But I got to presume he's going to be pretty great. The question is, what will Bill Perkins do? And I'm not actually sure how this one's going to go. I was actually pretty sure that Negreanu was going to be pretty decent. He was going to play well. He'd probably lose 3, 4, 5 big blinds per 100, which, maybe that number's slightly off, but it's in the ballpark, right? Here, I have no clue if 7 big blinds per 100 is fair, and it could be fair, or it could be very, very far off. As we see here, Bill Perkins says that Landon clearly has a steady advantage, and, he has a lot of things going on. So who knows what's going to happen with that one. If I had to bet on one player, oh my gosh, this would be a tough one. Assuming it's an even money bet, like we were just going to cross-book them essentially with the 7 big blinds per 100 added in, I think it feels kind of gross, but I think I'd take Bill Perkins. 7 big blinds per 100 is a lot, and man, I don't even know. Maybe I wouldn't take Bill Perkins. I don't know. So look, I felt pretty good about betting on Negreanu to the point that I actually did bet a little bit of money and lost. Sometimes you're going to lose, such is life. But I don't know. I would shy away from betting on this one unless I was getting pretty good odds on Bill Perkins, I think. So definitely a nasty one. So we're going to be looking forward to that. I'm not sure if we'll be using the GTO solver like I did throughout the Doug Polk versus Negreanu challenge. If you have not watched my videos, by the way, make sure you check all of those out. They're completely free at pokercoaching.com/Negreanu vs Polk, where I go through all sorts of hands using the GTO solver to explain what the players are doing and why. Also, to add in more fun, Rob Young, who I like very, very much, he decided to challenge Landon as well. They are going to be having another match, and instead of getting, 9 big blinds per 100, Rob Young did some negotiating with a cat here, and he's going to be getting 15 big blinds per 100. Holy moly. 15 big blinds per 100 is a lot. They're going to be playing a very short match, only, I believe, 5,000 hands. But 15 big blinds per 100 is a ton. And I mean, if I had to bet, get 15 big blinds per 100 is a lot. Now, that said, I got to presume, like I said, Landon, a 21-year-old guy, is going to be spending a lot of his time getting good at poker. He's going to be spending all this time studying in preparation for Bill Perkins. And by the time it comes around for Rob Young, he's probably going to be like pretty decent, right? So the Landon that's going to be playing Bill Perkins is probably going to be a decent amount worse than the Landon that's going to be playing Rob Young, which is going to result in still even 15 big blinds per 100 not being perhaps as much. Kind of like we saw Negreanu get substantially better throughout the 25,000 hands. I got to presume Landon's going to get substantially better throughout the challenge with Bill Perkins. So lots and lots of battling going on, and to each their own, have fun. I'm typically not the get in there and battle type, but that is what a lot of people love. Landon says here, literally a year ago, he was doing timestamps for Joe Ingram, and now he's playing Heads Up for Souls with Bill Perkins. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited to be there. You can count on me to give you good coverage of this here on my YouTube channel. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you all want to continue learning more from me, I'm actually having a Valentine's Day sale, because while everybody out there is battling and fighting and butting heads, I'm just trying to love over here. So check it out, PokerCoaching.com/Valentines for a nice discount on my site, PokerCoaching.com. If you like the content here on YouTube, you will love all the content at PokerCoaching.com. So check that out at PokerCoaching.com/Valentines. Also, you know what I'm going to do? I want you all to guess the amount of money that either Landon or Bill Perkins will win by the end of their challenge. In the comment section below, write down the amount either player is going to be up or down, accounting for that 9 big blind per 100. Did I say 9 big blind or 7 big blind? Whatever they decide to bet. Type the amount that the player will be up or down, the player's name and the amount they're going to be up or down in the comment section below, and I'm going to pull one winner, whoever gets that closest to right, and I'm going to give them a month of Poker Coaching Premium for free. So enter that in the comment section below. If you're already a member and you win, I'll give you a refund. So there will definitely be a winner to that. So make sure you get in on that by typing in the comment section below the amount that the person, either Landon or Bill Perkins, will be up or down. I'm excited for the match. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you like this video, if you like my work, click the like button below, also the notification bell. I'd appreciate it. Good luck in your games. Have a great, great day. Spread some love, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more strategy lessons, pre-flop charts, and interactive quizzes, make sure you get your free membership to PokerCoaching.com right now at PokerCoaching.com/free. I'll talk to you next time.